Some people think that living a simple life is easy, but it's not. It's easier to go with the flow of today's world, to get sucked into the sea of advertisements, and to give in to our endless desires for stuff, even those things that don't serve a purpose or value in our life. On the other hand, living simply requires discipline and work. It takes more energy to be intentional with what we buy, not buy, keep, and discard. Yet a simple and minimalist life brings us closer to what's essential: community, connectedness, purpose, meaning. The desire for more stuff, on the other hand, creates a society of disconnected, discontented, unhappy, and overwhelmed individuals. This year, I did a low-buy challenge to pay off some major debts, and I learned a lot throughout the process. I also realized a few mistakes that I made along the way, and so for my low-buy year 2023, I'm making some tweaks to make the process a little easier than what it was last year. So in today's video, I would like to share some of the things I do to have a low-buy year this 2023. It all starts with being clear with your purpose. Why do you like to do a low-buy year? To put an end to massive credit card debts? To start having some emergency savings funds? Or to get a better handle on your finances? For me, my goal for this low-buy year 2023 is to be more intentional in my life. I want to be that kind of person who finds meaning and gratitude in what I have. To not be easily swayed by advertisements, make better purchasing decisions, and to get out of a high-spend, work-more cycle. I want to have more free time to pursue my passion in creative pursuits, and by doing a low-buy year, it can open up that opportunity since I no longer have to take more work just to pay off debts. Simply telling yourself that you will cut back on your spending doesn't always accomplish much. If we really want to succeed in spending less, we need some clear guidelines on how to do it. This was the reason why I struggled during my past low-buy challenge. I was clear with my why, but not with my how. I knew that I overspent on food, eating out, and online shopping, but I did not define clearly how I would minimize my spending on those. So for my low-buy year 2023, I am creating crystal clear rules around it. I was also looking at how much I can save by not buying certain things and making them instead. In the past year, I started making my own plant-based milk, bars of soap, granola, bread, and jam, and I enjoy the process. So for this year, I am completely eliminating those from my grocery list and making them instead. When I did the math, I realized how much savings I can get from making these myself. And since I'll be buying just the ingredients, It would mean less trash from milk cartons, cans, and plastic since I'll be reusing glass bottles and jars for my milk, beans, and jam, and I use recycled paper bags for my soap. I understand that some of you may not have the time or interest in making your own milk, soap, jam, and other things, and that's okay. But if you like to do a low buy year and minimize your expenses, you need to set a realistic budget for each category and do your best to stick to it. We used to go to Starbucks a few times a week in the past years, but have been going to a local coffee shop once a week. So instead of spending $5.60 on a Starbucks coffee, we have been spending $1.73 on family owned smaller coffee shops here. I also feel good about supporting a local small business instead of an international company. It helps to build the local economy while keeping small businesses afloat. As for eating out, we cut back on that, and instead of eating out 3 times a week and spending $14 at a time, we limited it to once a week and have been going to cheaper restaurants. Here in Thailand, we can easily find cheap, healthy, and delicious meals for $1.50 or $3.40, and a little bit more upscale, $5.70. When I go to the store without a list, I end up buying things that aren't a priority or necessary. It can get overwhelming and highly stimulating to go to the store. There are so many overwhelming options on what to buy and making you think that you need them when you really don't. So I always make a list before I go to the store and do my best to stick to it. I also choose carefully the things I buy and choose local products instead of imported. For example, these are the things that we bought yesterday, which should last us for a week. Now we buy more whole foods and cut back on processed ones, dried beans instead of canned beans, seasonal vegetables and brown rice instead of processed, ready-to-eat meals. There may be events during the year that involve spending money, such as birthdays, anniversaries, Christmas, or maybe you have something else coming up. For example, many people spend a certain amount to buy Christmas presents for family and friends. Maybe you used to spend $40 per person. So for this year, you can set a smaller budget and spend, I don't know, $10 or $15 per person. Or you may decide to give homemade items this year to make the gift more personalized and more meaningful. If you love to bake, you can give homemade baked goodies as holiday presents, or some homemade jam, crocheted or embroidered items, handcrafted holiday greeting cards, and so on. And personally, I think mall gifts pale in comparison to handmade gifts. Just think about how many hundreds or thousands of these store-bought gifts are in circulation. On the other hand, your handmade gifts are one of its kind, so it's more special. Some of us turn to shopping because we are bored, or to fill a void, or because it gives us a rush. I have observed that my desire to do online shopping is stronger when I'm on my phone, just mindlessly scrolling on my social media news feed. But when I'm out hiking, working on crafts, cooking, or doing something fun and engaging, the last thing in my mind is shopping. So to gain success in a low buy year, it helps to be more engaged in an activity that you love. It does not even have to be complicated or expensive. Something like going for a walk, bicycling, swimming, sports, reading a book, journaling, or if you like crafts and painting, then those are engaging activities to keep your mind off of shopping. As we continue to live a life of excess, a couple of things happen. This affects our budget, which also impacts our time. More time spent on working to keep affording our expensive lifestyle, and more time spent on keeping our possessions clean, organized, and in good condition. If you're thinking about starting a low buy year or low spend holidays, I hope these ideas I have shared with you have been helpful and valuable. As always, I look forward to hearing from you in the comments, and thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you again next week.